Hey, welcome to today's episode. Glad you're here. Hope your day's going great and your summer is going great and nice to be with you. Today, we are going to talk about something fun. It's always fun. But today we are going to talk about 9 amazing add-ons to a river cruise. And I'm going to talk about how we can make a river cruise experience even better. So it's not just adding on. We're not talking about like excursions and things like that, although that would be a fun episode to do too. But we are going to be talking about places. Now, if you have been around me for any period of time, you probably know that I love river cruising. I just went on my first river cruise. It was probably only like 3 or 4 years ago, so it hasn't been super long. But ever since I have been on my first river cruise, I talk about them all the time because they are so great. River cruises are Europe, which I think so many of us love Europe and are just fascinated by all of the amazing countries and the amazing culture and everything that is there. River cruises are effortless, they are delicious, they are charming, they are active, they are relaxing, like they are all the things in one package. So I really love river cruising. And did you know, and today this is what we are going to talk about, river cruise lines also have packages, not just the river cruise itself, but for a pre or a post cruise land extension. They are land packages, usually 2 or 3 or 4 night little add-on packages that you can include when you book your river cruise. That just makes it so that you can extend your vacation, you can see and do things that either the rivers don't reach to, like places where the rivers don't go, or possibly maybe they just don't have time to be as in depth in these places as you get to be on a pre or post cruise. So there is some sightseeing included because it's kind of considered quote unquote part of your river cruise experience ish. So there's some sightseeing included, and there is also time left to explore on your own. So it's a really great combination. Usually breakfast is included every day. Sometimes there's other meals like a lunch or dinner or something, but a lot of times you kind of just get to explore the food on your own locally in these places, and that's really great too. Okay, so let's jump in. Today we are going to talk about 9 of these experiences that we can have. Number 1 place is Prague, Czech Republic. Prague is an amazing beginning or end to a Danube River cruise, and it's a great place to get to explore a little more. One of the little places that you'll get to see is a town called Pilsen, and they are best known for producing Pilsner beer, funnily enough, and you will get to have a chance to sightsee and tour a little bit in this little town. Prague is known as the Golden City of 100 Spires. It is really beautiful. It reminds me of Budapest. Budapest and Prague were kind of sister cities back in the day, and they are similar to each other. But it's just really fun. On a pre or post Prague little land extension, you get to go on a city tour or a hike to Prague Castle. So if you decide to go on the city tour, then you'll visit things like Old Market Square and the famous astronomical clock. If you decide to visit Prague Castle is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's called the Prague Castle, but it's this, huge complex of palaces and cathedrals and buildings and all kinds of places. So anyway, Prague is an amazing pre or post cruise destination to visit. All right, number 2 destination is Lisbon, Portugal. So these aren't in any particular order. I'm calling them number 1, number 2, but they're not like in order of must-sees or anything like that. I'm just numbering them just to kind of go through them. So Lisbon is a beautiful city stretching across several hills all along the Tagus River. In Lisbon, you can take a Lisbon walking tour and get to see the Belém Tower. Here's a picture of the Belém Tower. You'll also see the Hieronymus Monastery, which is a royalty burial place. You'll get to taste a Portuguese pastry called Pastéis de Belém. and the Discoveries Monument, which is a monument that is made to maritime explorers. You'll get to visit this beautiful little picturesque mountain village called Serra de Sintra, and it's the former summer residence of the Portuguese royal family. So that's really cool. And the Peña National Palace is this beautiful fairy tale castle that is located high on a rocky peak. You'll see the castle of the Knights Templar and the Convent of Christ. So many sightseeing things to get to visit and see in Lisbon and in the area on a pre or post. Okay, number 3 place we're going to talk about is Madrid, Spain. Madrid is the capital of Spain, and there are so many great things to see here. So Salamanca is a little town just outside of Madrid, and it has the new cathedral and the House of Shells. In Madrid, you'll get to visit the Royal Palace and this beautifully manicured Buen Retiro Park, and that is a gorgeous place to get to visit. You'll see Plaza Mayor, which was once the heart of Old Madrid, and it's Madrid's Grand Central Square now. You'll see the walled city of Toledo, which was the ancient capital of Spain, and the Cathedral of Toledo, and the Synagogue Santa Maria la Blanca in the Jewish quarter. Tons of really great sights and sightseeing in Madrid as well. Number 4, on to Geneva, Switzerland. So Geneva, Switzerland is the gateway to the Swiss Alps, and they are known for watchmaking and chocolate making, both of which you will get to experience and see and taste, of course, chocolate, and get some kind of insider knowledge with watchmaking and chocolate making. There are also beautiful castles in the area. So you'll get to see the Chateau d'Annecy, which is home to the Counts of Geneva. And you'll also get to see the Chillon Castle, which is a medieval island fortress. You'll get to view all the little bike trails that wind by the lake. And it's just like this picturesque, beautiful place to see and explore. Dijon, France is also close by Geneva, and you will probably get to experience Dijon. Obviously, it's home to Dijon mustard, and it also has one of the best preserved medieval centers in France. Lots of cathedrals and palaces and all kinds of great things to get to see there. So that is Geneva, Switzerland. Number 5, Amsterdam, Netherlands. I was just in Amsterdam a couple of months ago, and this is a great city to get to explore. Let's see, a couple of these pictures that are on this screen are pictures that I took. The windmill and the bike are both pictures that I took when I was in Amsterdam just recently. So one of the fun things, if you do a pre or post little extension to Amsterdam, is you'll get to visit the Zaanse neighborhood. And this is this great little 18th, 19th-ish time frame century Dutch village. So they have wooden houses, they have windmills. You get to see the regional costumes and workshops in clog carving and barrel making, pewter casting, chocolate making, like all these old skills and things that came from Amsterdam. Then in Amsterdam, you'll go on a walking tour of Amsterdam, get to see all the canals and the bridges and the architecture. And you will probably also get to take a little canal cruise in Haarlem and maybe get to see some windmills along the way, as well as, of course, the more architecture and bridges and all the things like that. One thing that is so fun and crazy about Amsterdam, if you have never been there, they have more canals than Venice. I know Venice is known for canals, but if you did not know, Amsterdam has more. It's crazy how many canals there are in that city. And B, they have more bikes than they do people, which is crazy too, because, how many people do they have versus how many bikes? And they have more bikes than they do people. So that is kind of crazy. But Amsterdam is a great city and would be a really fun place to get to explore longer. Number 6 place is Nice, France. Now, Nice, France is in the south of France. It's called the scenic capital of the French Riviera. And tourism has been alive here for 3 centuries. Like, they have been a hotspot for tourism for a long time. It would be so fun to get to spend a few extra days in Nice. Obviously, you'll get to enjoy the deep blue waters of the Mediterranean, And you'll see things like the Saint-Reparte Cathedral, the Opera House, the Prefecture Palace. You'll get to see Monaco-Ville, which is the village of Monaco, which is Monaco-Ville is the charming little medieval village in the Monaco area. It has cobblestone streets, and it's just like this beautiful little village. But then you'll contrast that like sleepy village with Monte Carlo's casino. So the casino at Monte Carlo. Really fun, really great to spend a little extra time in Nice at the beginning or end of your cruise. Okay, number 7 is Saint-Malo, France. Now, you may not be familiar with Saint-Malo, France, because it's not like a super well-known city or place like some of these that I've been talking about. But Saint-Malo is close to the Normandy beaches. So if you do a river cruise that starts or ends near the Normandy beaches, you will have the opportunity to do this little extension. In fact, the river cruise that we are doing in October of this year has Saint-Malo as an extension, one of the extensions that you can do. So you'll get to see the medieval fortress of Fougères in Brittany, which has 13 towers. Saint-Malo is this little town on the coast of Brittany, and it's just really historical. It has a lot of pirate lore and piracy in its history. So it's really fun to get to stay in Saint-Malo and get to learn all about the history there. In the area, you'll get to see the Fort National Castle and the Cathedral of St. Vincent. The town of Saint-Malo just has these beautiful turquoise waters that surround them. There's also a couple of cute little towns called Dinard and Dinon, and they are known for their beautiful beaches and villas along the shores. They have art galleries and crafts and all kinds of fun. They're fun little towns as well. Then the monastery of Mont Saint-Michel, which you may recognize this picture. This picture is from Mont Saint-Michel. It is a monastery that was built on an island, its own little island. And it was the inspiration for the tower in the movie Tangled, the Disney movie Tangled. So anyway, all of these great things you would get to experience if you did the Saint-Malo extension to the river cruise. And if you're just doing the river cruise, then you miss out on all of these extra little towns and fun sightseeing. Okay, number 8, of course, we can't leave out Paris. So especially Paris is going to be the site of the Summer Olympics this summer in just a couple of months. Well, a month and a half, I guess, from right now when I'm recording. So Paris is definitely on most people's top spots that they would like to visit. Paris is known as the City of Lights. And if you are staying a few extra nights in Paris with a pre or post, then you will get to like do all kinds of sightseeing, all the regular things like the Arc de Triomphe, the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, shopping, museums. You'll get to visit Montmartre, which is the center of the artistic area in Paris. And you'll get to go on an evening lights tour, which, you know, Paris is known as the City of Lights. So that is pretty fitting and appropriate. Of course, you'll get to sample the pastries and the chocolates and all of the amazing things in Paris and just get to have a great time if Paris is on your pre or post cruise. Okay, number 9, this is our last place that we're talking about today, and it is Lake Como in Italy. So Lake Como is just nestled at the foot of the Alps. It's this beautiful, beautiful town area, lake, right on the shores of a lake. And you will get to, if Lake Como is part of your pre or post, then you will get to stop in Bellinzona, Switzerland for lunch. You will get to do a walking tour of Lake Como, the town, and see the views of, you know, this beautiful glacial lake and the whole little resort area, and with all of the shops and the homes and just the fun little place that it is. You will get to see the Bellagio village, which has cobblestone streets and shops and amazing food, like all kinds of great things. Some of the scenery from a couple of really popular, well-known movies, Ocean's 12 and also Casino Royale, were filmed here. Parts of these movies were filmed here. in Lake Como. So you may see some familiar scenery in Lake Como if that is one of your extension little areas that you do as part of a river cruise. So those are the 9 places that I wanted to highlight today. And these are just 9. Like there are so many. There are over 20. There are so many places. I just barely kind of touched the surface, scratched the surface. I guess that's the same of all the places that you could go to do a pre or post cruise fun excursion or experience. So let me know if you're interested in more details or information about river cruising. Totally happy to, give you more education and more information. River cruises are available not only in Europe, but also in the US and other countries, so many places throughout the world. So let me know if you're interested in finding out more about river cruising or certain places where river cruises go, because I'd be happy to help tell you more information or help you get something planned. So, and don't forget about our river cruise that we have coming up in October. Now, of course, if you are listening to or watching this later than October of 2024, then, this will not apply to you. But we are going on a river cruise. My husband and I are going, and we are just inviting as many people as want to come on our little small but mighty group of people who want to go on this river cruise with us. We are sailing on the Seine River. The cruise begins at the beaches of Normandy. Like you fly into Paris and then go immediately to start the cruise at the beaches of Normandy. So you kind of start on the other end and sail the Seine River and end up in Paris at the end of the cruise. That is October of this year. It is the 19th through the 26th. We would love to have you come with us. It's going to be so great, really fun. And we are inviting our very own French chef to come with us. Her name is Romina Rasmussen, and she is a French chef here in Salt Lake City, close by where I live. And I just invited her to come. So she's not going with the whole group. She is only going with us, with our little specific group. And so even if you have been to the beaches of Normandy previously, you haven't been there with Romina. Even if you have been to France previously, you haven't been there with a French chef. Now, I'm just saying you don't have to pay any more money to get to go with Romina on this cruise. And that is a pretty amazing deal to get to have her come along with us. So anyway, I wasn't like meaning to spend the whole time talking about Romina, but I just think it's so great that she is coming with us and that she gets to be part of this. So let me know if you're interested in details and information, and I can get you all the scoop on everything. But hopefully you have enjoyed learning about some of the places where you could do pre and post cruise trips, little extensions to your river cruise in Europe. And let me know if I can help you with anything. Thanks. We will see you in a couple weeks.
If you've enjoyed this podcast, I would invite you to like, share, or leave a review. Let's help grow our wellness travel community.